It's nothing but a matter of time now before that day of trouble and heaviness is upon you. And that's why the Lord said, seek ye the Lord in your youth before the evil days come. People can't put this together, man. You got these pastors in these churches, they ain't even coming nowhere near explaining to the people about what's about to happen, man. All they want to do is tell you to come on in, the collection plate's coming by, make sure you fill it up. We like the kind that jingles, but we prefer the kind that folds, they tell you. Okay, you empty out your pocket, and then they give you some sermon about what they did 10 years ago, and then they send you on your way home. The process is this. You got to come out and feed. The Lord said, feed my flock, man. And we're feeding with wisdom and knowledge and understanding that's going to sustain you when these evil days come, man. This is what we do here. Honkies? That's right, honkies. That's right. See, even she knows the honkies no good. She said the honkies, I ain't heard that term in a long time. Honkies is a so-called white man. Honkies, you know? So we ain't lying. We ain't lying, the so-called honky. Honky tonk.
Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful.
Right.
But thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Right, when the day of heaviness and sorrow come, others gonna weep and be sorrowful. What does that mean? When all hell starts breaking loose, you're gonna see these people on the side of the road. You're gonna see these people starving, and not to mention, you're gonna see a lot of these people on the sign going absolutely crazy.
That's right.
Our people are already crazy, man. These people are already crazy. Can you imagine when there's no law enforcement put in place or no structure put in place for protection? You women better be real careful in that day, man. You women better be real careful in that day, because what's gonna happen out here, you ain't gonna be. Listen, the only reason why you see this order in this world right now is because you have the ability to call on law enforcement, and you call on the police and fire department and EMTs. You have that ability to do so. They're the ones that sustain some type of order here. But let that shit go right out the window, okay? Let it go out the window. And let me tell you something. You better believe when we tell you this. You leave out your house, you may end up dead. Give me Isaiah the 4th chapter. Go ahead, read on.
2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 33.
Go ahead.
The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom.
Go ahead.
The woman shall mourn, having no husband.
Right, and this is talking about that Third World War. This is talking about that draft. These women are going to mourn having no helpers, because why? These men that are going to go drafted over into the military, they're not coming back home to see their brides that they married before they went off. Because that's what happens. You get deployed, and all of a sudden everybody wants to get married and tie that knot and solidify the fact that we're one family unit now. We're going to support you, honey, while you go over to war. But read that again.
The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom.
Meaning the women are going to mourn having no bridegroom. Where are they going to be? Over in the war. Go ahead.
The woman shall mourn, having no husband.
Go ahead.
Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers.
Go ahead.
In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed.
In the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed. That's why we don't advocate you guys, you Jakes, going over to the military. Especially this the last hoorah, man. Right. This is the last go around. Ain't gonna be nothing like after this war, man. That's right. The scriptures tell you that. Go ahead.
And their husbands shall perish of famine.
There it is.
Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord.
Who is the Lord talking to? His servants. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. So we totally understand this. The Spirit of the Lord has put the understanding in us that we now know that we're going to prophesy about all these things that this Bible contains. Unlike these churches in the world, man. These churches, oh, go ahead, man.
Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spoke.
Go ahead.
Behold, the plagues draweth nigh and are not slack.
Right, and those plagues are coming, man. Those plagues are coming and they're not going to stop. Right. You know, when a woman starts to have birth pains, them childbearing pains, you can't stop those pains, man. When a woman's in that time when she's about to deliver that baby, there's no timeout. There's no hold on. Let me go back a week. When that baby's ready to come, it's coming. And them pains are going to multiply and multiply until she gives birth. Likewise, the pains that are going to come upon this planet, upon each nation, upon all these kingdoms, and upon all you people.
That's right.
These pains and these plagues are coming, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop until they consume you people, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son,
Go ahead.
within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains could pass her womb.
You ask a woman, this is true. This is true, which are known as contractions. Great pains can pass her womb. So the Lord has given us a crystal clear analogy, something we can relate to. Because if you've ever seen a woman in labor, okay, you ever seen a woman going through contractions, she's in bad shape, man. She can't move. But these are the same things which the Lord had to give us a particular analogy so we could understand it better. Go ahead.
Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right, and you hear that woman start cursing, "You son of a bitch, I can't stand." Ah! These pains don't slack a moment, man. That's the same thing that's gonna happen when the Lord starts opening up that can of whoop behind on this place, man.
That's right.
It's not gonna slack. There's not gonna be any, all right, next week, because years ago, right, about 10 years ago, you had little marches on each capital, capital's so-called land. What were they called? What was those marches called?
Million Man March.
What was
Not
it?
those.
No. When people would march out in front of the state houses.
99%
Protest. No, not protest. There was a word for it. But anyway, what happens is all these people would get together and march. They would protest. They do all this marching, holding signs. It's all rallying. It's all fun and games, right? Because you get to go home after that. You get to go home. You go back to your normal life. You go back to work. You tell your work partners, "Hey, I was down there rallying. We had a great time." But this time around, you ain't going home, man. You ain't going back to work to tell your partners how much of a great time you had down at Boston Common because there was a big rally out there. Okay? These times are going to be detrimental to your health, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
God. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
Go ahead.
And the world shall mourn, and the sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Right.
O my people, hear my word. Make ye ready to the battle.
Oh, my people, hear my word. Make ye ready to the battle. Because believe it or not, there's a battle ahead of us, man. There's a real battle that's going to be before us. And we're entering into that phase of going up into that battle, man. And the men of the Lord are going into that battle with the spiritual aspect and the spiritual knowledge that all these things you people are going to go through, you're going to suffer, man.
That's right.
You are going to suffer. You're going to die a horrible death. You're going to see your parents who may be on all kinds of medication. You're going to see them die right before your very eyes. Why are we telling you these things? Because we're telling you the truth, man.
That's right.
We're telling you the real truth about what the Lord got inscribed or installed for this place called America, man.
That's right.
See? Hold on. This brother, come down.
And this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. It says, "For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them.
Yep.
As travail upon a woman with child."
There it goes again. As travail upon a woman with trial. Why is the Lord giving us that analogy different times and several times in the scriptures? Because you can relate to that, man. And when you women hear about a woman giving birth, there's a certain thing a woman feels for another woman who's about to give birth, man. Because they've experienced that pain. They've experienced that trauma that they go through when they're about to drop that baby off. Go ahead, brother.
Real quick. And it's going into the transitioning from Esau's kingdom, which is the so-called white man, his power structure and his rulership, his dominion, all right, crashing down, and the birth of a new world, man, a new heaven, a new earth, a new rulership wherein dwelleth righteousness, man.
Right.
And he's not gonna let his kingdom go down without a fight, man.
Right.
So it's gonna get ugly out here, all right, because the rising up of Yasharallah is happening right before his face.
Right.
And these are the things that the elites are paying attention to. Regardless of the sideshows that they put out here, Nipsey Hussle and the rap and all this, what it all comes down to is the elect of Israel is waking up, man. And we're coming back to the Lord Statue Community, so the Heavenly Father, knowledge of who we are. And this is everything that they tried to do, everything that's happening. They put so much resources into hiding, man. Right. And that's why it says in Revelation, the 12th chapter, that they're going to come down with great wrath knowing they have but a short time.
Right.
A short time for what? A short time to rule, man. This is about power and dominion.